Once again, good morning, and welcome to Interfaith Spiritual Center Worldwide, where we know nothing happens by chance, that everything is by divine appointment, and that we have kept our divine appointment. This morning we heard the call, we answered that call, we showed up out of that. And if you are tuning in at this moment, this message is for you, because nothing happens by chance. I love our theme for this Easter renewal, awakenings. That we are awakened to the truth that sets us free to be who and what we are. We are created in the image and likeness of something so amazing. And we're told that it's not just good, it's very good. And when we arise to the truth of our being, there is great humility in that. And when we are in awe of this universal expression, there is great humility in that. We are co-creators with this higher power. Whatever we choose to call our higher power, God, truth, Father, Mother, Yahweh, Brahman, Buddha, it doesn't matter. But to acknowledge that which is within us is greater than that which resides in the world. And remember, this is the relative world. Out there is not the real world. The real world is within us. It is the eternal energy of Christ consciousness, the holy I am presence, the Buddha nature that is within us. And when we live from that tenet, we live from those principles, that becomes our nature. We become that, we embody that. Otherwise, this is just sounding brass and a tinkling cymbal. Because you can have faith, and you can have hope, and you can be an optimist, and you can do all these things. But unless you have love, you are as sounding brass and a tinkling cymbal. It's empty, it's hollow. Love is the ground of being. So we are awakening to this love. This morning's topic is your inner voice. The psalmist tells us in 46:10, be still and know that I am God. This holy I am presence that is within us, guiding and directing us every moment of our life. Be still and know. The fast track to listening and really hearing our inner voice is meditation. Meditation is where we let go and let God do what God does best by means of us. Allow that download of energy and really feel that it is in solitude when I am least alone. That power and presence is with me always. Yes, the universe is what? It's law. It's a mechanical force. It's cause and effect. It's karma. But it's also a loving presence. Be still and know that I am, that sacred I am God. That we are co-creators with God. Know that ye are not, that ye are all gods, a little lower than the angels. So as we step up to our true spiritual stature, we begin to embody a larger life. I love the story about the Native American that was in New York City. And I love New York City. It has an energy and a life all its own, of course. And I've spoken at the United Nations, and it's an amazing place, but it's noisy. So they were walking, they were uptown New York, and they're walking down the street, and he's sharing with his friend as they're hearing the blaring of horns and taxi cab drivers screeching around corners and sirens coming down the street. He said, I hear a cricket. And his friend looks at him and says, you hear a cricket and all this noise? That's outrageous. No way can you hear a cricket. No, I hear a cricket. He said, listen. So they walked across the street, and there was, just this amazing big old cement planter with flowers and shrubbery. And he looked under a leaf, and there was the cricket. And his friend said, how did you ever hear that with all this noise? He said, life goes according to what we listen for. I heard the cricket calling my name. He said, whatever we're listening for is what we hear. So he said, I'll demonstrate something to you. So he put his hand in his pocket. He threw some change down on the sidewalk, and anyone within 20 feet stopped. They heard that change, and they saw it. They want to make sure that it wasn't theirs. It's what we're listening for. So when the universe has a message for us, be still and know, even in uptown New York with blaring horns and sirens and taxicabs screeching around corners, that it's what we're listening for. Be still and know that I am God. And in that recognition of going within to the secret place of the Most High, it is within us. The secret place of the Most High, and pray to our Father, Mother, God in secret, and acknowledge that we are rewarded openly by the outward demonstrations in our lives that show up. And as these demonstrations show up in our lives, then it gives us kind of an inner compass as to where we are. You know, it was such an amazing week for me. That's a nice way of saying it was a hell of a week. I mean, it was. And by the time Friday came around, I thought, you know, I moved here for the minerals, and I've gotten involved in so many, you know, very important things. I'm going up, and I'm going to just soak my sorrows in the mineral waters. And so I went up, and I was soaking, and I was just, you know, I was in the great big spa. And there was a gentleman in the spa, and it's a great big one, and it's the hottest one, and I love the hottest one because you can just like let it all go, and when you're melting, and anything foreign from the divine design, it's just going to be melted out of you because it's really hot. And he goes, and he extended his hand, he says, my name is Enrique. He said, I own a little restaurant as you first come into the country club. I said, I've been to that little restaurant many times, and the omelets are wonderful. And I shared with him that, you know, I love sitting outside and looking at the pond and the ducks and the egrets, and it's a kind of a magical place, and the food is so good. And we had this exchange of connection, and I kind of shared what went on in my week. And he said, oh, I am so sorry for your loss. And we talked about life and the preciousness of life. And I mean, here's someone that I just met, that I initiated the conversation, and he was respecting my space, and he didn't speak until I did. And as we had this exchange of energy and felt this oneness and this amazing moment, that we can move through all of it. And there we are, you know, in this space of I call it the holy waters, and there is beauty and there is substance. And that, you know, then I just closed my eyes and I went within, and, you know, he did the same. And he talked about the miracle of the minerals and how they had helped him. He had high blood pressure, and how he began swimming and began really honoring his body temple. And I said, life is really good. He goes, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Life is so wonderful. Here I am at this country club with my little restaurant. And I said, I love that. I call it the retro diner. It's just so cute. It's like, you know, 1950s. And the park is 75 years old. And he goes, here I am in the minerals, and I have my restaurant, and I have life, and I'm in gratitude, and I'm with a beautiful woman. I said, oh, let me kiss you now. Thank you so much. And so we had just this great, great moment. And what I love about life is that there are angels among us, and that they show up in the most unlikely places at times. And if we're open, and if we're sharing from our humanity, because I shared, I was sad, and I'm here to drown my sorrows in the minerals, and that the compassion of the human spirit extended itself. And there was that moment of listening to the still small voice of God coming through another beautiful soul. And as we feel that divine connection, there is a magic There's a mystic element in that. And this is about divine appointments. An old shaman said to his grandson, "You know, my son, there are two wolves that live within us. One is an angry wolf, an evil wolf. It is a wolf that is filled with ego and rage. It is a very, very evil wolf. And the other wolf within us is a loving wolf, a kind wolf, a sharing wolf, a compassionate wolf." And there was silence. And the grandson said, "Oh, dear grandfather, who wins if they both live within us?" He said, "Oh, my son, the one that you feed." So as we feed the kindness, the love, the wisdom, the energy of light, that is what comes forth within us. And I had a wolf. She was half wolf and half husky. She was the most faithful, loving, wonderful dog. And I named her Sedona. And she would just nuzzle in. If I was feeling something, she'd nuzzle in and she'd put her head on my chest. I mean, in the kingdom of the animals, everything senses energy. Everything is energy. And it was a great comfort. So when we go within to the still, listen to the still small voice of God and what it's saying in us, then we can extend kindness. And when we extend kindness, there's not a charge of energy for us. We're not taking our vital life force energy and moving it out in a place that doesn't serve us. You can have faith, you can have hope, you can have optimism, you can have all these wonderful things, but unless we have love, we are sounding brass and a tinkling cymbal. What are we listening for? Do we hear the cricket calling our name? Do we hear the life of nature? Do we feel gratitude? Do we know that we are here to truly extend love in the most intolerable situations? Because it's easy to love the people that love us. Mario and Michael and I, we went to lunch the other day on Thursday after Michael and I made arrangements for Douglas for his celebration of life service. And we were talking about the preciousness of life. And that one moment we're here and the next moment we're transcending. So that while we are here, to have that value and to really extend that love. And to know that when I look into your eyes, that I see my own reflection. Because your success makes mine possible. And my success makes yours possible. Because we are all one. When your good occurs, I am joyous. When my good occurs, I know you are joyous. And that we arise in this energy together. The inner voice. And if we throw the coins on the ground and someone hears those coins and they're listening for that, I thought about Ken, because we have a circle. And every morning we set the tone, and each person. This morning, we all said we wanted peace, but Ken always wants money for the center. He's listening for those coins, so that's a good thing too. So we want to acknowledge that our retired IRS auditor, who gives sacred service and vacuums up every Sunday, the humility and the energy and the love that he feels for our spiritual center moves beyond what he's doing to the sacred service. You know, it's amazing because someone was walking down the street and they saw somebody, you know, they were putting bricks together on a foundation. He said, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Oh, I'm laying bricks." He goes, "Oh, wow, amazing." Sees the next guy, says, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I'm building a cathedral." So it's all about vision. And when we have that vision, and we open the space to listen to our inner voice, we are guided and directed. It's not like you have to be an intuitive, but we all have hunches and feelings. Some of us do hear voices. Don't tell anybody, but you know, it's okay. And some of us feel the feelings. We sense the energy. I remember seeing a film about angels. And Danny DeVito he was, in the hospital bed. And Nicolas Cage was the angel. And you couldn't see him, but, we could see him, but when it viewed through this patient's eyes, the chair was empty. And he said, I can't see you, but I know you're there. And I love that line. I can't see you, but I know you're there. You are going before me and preparing the way with ease and grace. And I may not see you, but I know you're there, because it is in solitude when we are least alone. Whatever we need when we need it, the universe provides it. So whether it's walking down the street, in uptown New York, we hear what we listen for. Whether it's acknowledging that what am I going to feed within me? I'm going to feed my life force energy of love, truth, beauty, and wisdom, and live from that place within me. And when we live from that place, our world opens amazingly. And I look out. We've had so many transitions in the 17, almost 18 years that I've been with you. And I can see all the faces. I can feel the energy. And I know that we are being supported on the other side. I can't see you, but I know you're there. I can feel you. I can take you within my heart. And I can commune with your spirit. And that makes all the difference. So today, we come together as a community. And I love being in community and feeling the heartbeat of our community. And you who are viewing us today, you don't get that. You get the essence of the message, but being in community and feeling the heartbeat of another human being is so deeply and profoundly moving. And that's why I love what I do, and I do what I love for 44 years now. And every day is new. So we're all going somewhere. Where is it? Higher yet. Where? Higher yet. Where? Higher yet. Because we are in a high place, and we will not come down. None of these things in the outer world move us. We are in a high place and will not come down. I say namaste. The God in me salutes the God in you, and the God in you salutes the God in me. And if I am in that place in me, and you are in that place in you, there truly is only one of us. I say shalom, the peace that passes all understanding, and God bless us, everyone. I love you. I'm so grateful you're in my life. And while we're here, we are here totally in the quality and the presence of each other. And so it is.